Recently, Jiren has been getting too much love. What happened to the hate he got for barely having a backstory or personality? People grew up. That's what happened. I don't appreciate your tone, chat. And I also don't appreciate these garbage hot takes. But we're starting off with facts here. Dragon Ball is the best written shonen. Actually, I'm lying. It's not the best written shonen because we couldn't read it. How the would we know? We're Dragon Ball fans. We don't read. So even though you think it's the best written shonen, we ain't read it. Piccolo's trolling and ore farming is so out of hand that it actually hinders his fighting ability. Love him, but bro, 24/7 farming is ridiculous. 24/7 farming is ridiculous dedication to the craft. Mid-fight, man. Piccolo do got a bag, and Piccolo do be ore farming. And sometimes it can hinder his abilities because he could be training, but no, he wants to sit there and ore farm, and y'all call it the meditation. Nigga, he sleep. Nigga, he's posing. He ain't meditating. He ain't imitating. He ain't doing none of that shit. That nigga could be in the time chamber, in the gravity rooms, doing whatever he can. Nope, he's sleep. Chilling. He's ore farming. I agree as well. Goku got the deepest fighting bag. His combos are unmatched. Actually, I said this, and unironically, we just got done talking about Piccolo. I used to say this, and people were like, no, because he copies moves or whatever. But one, Goku has original moves now, let alone always did. But two, more importantly, so? Nigga, if Scoot Wembenyama is born and he copies every single elite point guard's moves ever, while also being 7'4" and copies Wemby's skills and Jokic skills, all that stuff, we're gonna sit there and say, I mean, he's just a clone of this, and that. No cares. He has the deepest bag. Maybe not the best one-to-one for you all in the sense y'all like originality there, but then again, Goku has his own bag. But that's besides the point. Yeah, Goku for me easily has the deepest bag in Dragon Ball. Granted, you could argue that, well, you see it the more because he's the main character, but not only does he have his own original moves, he also, like, if you sees you do it, he probably can do it too. And then in terms of his combos, man, I mean, Meteor, not only the Kaioken one, not only the one that he hits Piccolo with, it's like the Super Saiyan 3 one where he starts beating up Buu. He has so many combos that I'm thinking of right now that I can't remember. He starts sizing up Jiren too. He starts sizing Jiren the fuck up in the tournament. Goku has like a fuck ton of combos now that I'm remembering it. I just can't think of the name of the one I'm referring to. So I'm just gonna let you guys comment below and, well, actually me, please, thank you. But yeah, no, Goku probably does have my favorite combos in the series without a doubt, and certainly the deepest bag. So I agree, 100%. My friend tells me that the Final Atonement versus Toppo doesn't deserve the hate it gets. Yeah, TSO tells me that too. And this is TSO's 2025 of Super Saiyan Rage being good. That's my hot take. My hot take is y'all acting like the Final Atonement versus Toppo wasn't bad. Honestly, this is 2024, 2023 TSO because it lasted a little bit into the mid-2024. This is TSO's part 2 of that dangerously stupid take that if it went viral, everyone would honestly not call me the dumbass. They'd call you the dumbass. It's like, yo, the idea that for some reason my community just adores this fight and moment is insane. It's the biggest... It's cheap pop for the sake of cheap pop. It's the definition of you've seen the show. I want you to remember you've seen the show. I'm going to acknowledge that I've seen you. I'm going to acknowledge that I know that you know you've seen the show. Thanks. Watch this cool moment again. The worst part is we rewatched the fight. I just saw this fight. Like, not even 4 days ago. Just saw this fight. And I underestimated how bad of a rehash it was. Gang, any person that didn't see that video, it's in the Vegeta hate video, and it's heavily edited. Gang, my editor, if they wanted to, and I wish copyright would have allowed them to, hell, I wish they found a way to manipulate it and do it. They could have put a timer on the screen and shown you how long the flashbacks of the Buu saga are there. And they literally, for 2 consecutive minutes, almost literally 2 consecutive minutes, it's just the Buu saga clips. It's just the Buu saga. You're not even in the fight anymore. Flashbacks are in all anime. No. Dragon Ball has not done anything like that. That shit for like 2 minutes is legitimately the Final Atonement. It's the Final Atonement. It's insane that y'all then sit there and say, I felt that. No, I didn't. Because those are two entirely different situations right now. I don't feel that at all. It actually makes me mad. They didn't even reanimate it. They didn't. They put it in like what's that shit called? Like IMAX? They put it in a little vignette or whatever the fuck. Added a filter to it and just played Dragon Ball Z for 2-3 minutes straight. It's ridiculous. The idea that y'all sat there, the correlation doesn't even add up. All it is just an unnecessary thing added to, outside of that, a pretty decent fight. Maybe even a good fight. I think it's decent. You guys just glazed the animation. And it's not even the sexiest looking thing. It's just the shock value that Vegeta punches through an Akai, to tell you the blunt truth. Which is cool. He punched through an Akai. That's awesome. But like literally, it's the dialogue that Toppo Vegeta have. He punches through an Akai. He could have done anything. Hell, the final flash, shout out to Mike, could have actually been the final flash that an enemy seen for a change. But no, you know what we're gonna do?
Play 3 to 2 minutes. More towards 2-3 if I'm off memory. We can really time this.
In fact, fuck that. We will time this. I gassed it. 1 minute. Oh, my bad. Hey, my bad. I was hyperbolic with 2. I was hyperbolic with 2. Hey, that's insane. I was hyperbolic with 2. It was actually a minute. Gotta be fucking kidding me, bro. 50 seconds to be precise. To be very precise, 50 seconds. That's insane, bro. That's insane, bro. To me, at least, that is insane. Considering what is the point? So you gave me, to speak properly, you gave me 50 seconds of a flashback. Cool. You know, I watch Naruto. I watch One Piece. Flashbacks happen. But why? Now you said 3. I said 2 to 3. I started with 1 to 2, then said 2 to 3, just the agenda push. But cool. You give me 50 seconds to speak properly. You give me 50 seconds of a cutscene of Vegeta sacrificing himself for what? Piccolo to say, that's the move. That's the move where he killed himself. Or you want me to believe that Vegeta would kill himself? Because there's no way that you think, and hopefully anybody that agrees with this, there's no way that your significance from this is, yes, this is a satisfying end to Vegeta fights going forth. I know that's not the case. So what the else are we supposed to believe? It must be that we were supposed to either A, think Vegeta's dead, about to kill himself, or B, Piccolo's just going to remind us that move's dangerous. One of the two. One of the two. That shit is insane, bro. That shit's insane, bro. 50 seconds ain't shit to me. 50 seconds of flashbacks aren't insane when they're relevant to the story. Editor, can we put this in like bright-ass letters or some shit? When they're relevant to the story, flashbacks are fine. An irrelevant flashback just to remind you of Dragon Ball Z is nastiest of nasty works, especially in the Dragon Ball anime that does not do them like that. Like, Dragon Ball has flashbacks, sure. Dragon Ball is not known for flashback after flashback after flashback. That is nasty. That of all the scenes out there to get a flashback, it would be this one. Yo, Drop Bleach, all I ever hear from you is slander just from your reactions and videos you've made. You definitely don't like it. Why waste your time watching something you don't like? Gang, not only have I said several times, I
Don't hate Bleach.
not only have I said several times, I actually
Like the show.
I just don't think that it's this S tier of S tier show. Furthermore, I've continuously said several times on the internet, and the reason why I keep using the word internet is because this is the only place in the world where someone can say, yeah, dog, I'm not gonna lie, pancake's cool. I just don't see the hype of them or the idea that they're better than waffles and French toast. So you fucking hate pancakes? I swear. I swear I hate niggas sometimes, bro. I swear. No, gang. I just, again, I fucks with pancakes. I'll eat a pancake. I just don't think that it's quite a waffle. So you really must hate eggs. Where the fuck did eggs even come from? But like, why do y'all do that, bro? Why do y'all do that, man? Recently, Jiren has been getting too much love. What happened to the hate he got for barely having a backstory or personality? People grew up. That's what happened. Jiren deserves to get the non-overwhelming hate that he had because people grew up. That's what's going on. Everyone was like, okay, damn, we're fucking horny for this backstory that we really don't need from a character because, gee, I don't know, it's a tournament of power. You don't fucking need the backstory, bro. He's not an evil antagonist. He's just the antagonist to our main character. He's just strong. That's it. And then you gave him a story already. Y'all didn't want it. Y'all just wanted Jiren to be a cold-blooded killer or a piece of shit or something. That's all that was. That's one. Two, personality. Again, we just grew up as Dragon Ball fans, thank God. Because if you paid attention to the story, he has a personality. Jiren is a cocky motherfucker. Jiren is one of the cockiest niggas in Dragon Ball. He just isn't Japanese about it. The nigga Jiren will sit there, drop 2 lines on you, and then meditate. he'll be like, nah, you're not stronger than me. Boop! And then just chill. Like, just because he didn't go,
Oh, yes, I, Lord Jiren, the strongest in universe alive.
like, bro, god damn. On top of that, if we really want to go there, the reason why I defended Jiren early on, and I'm definitely still going to do it, name 5 times. Y'all love using the word for boring for Jiren. Name 5 times Jiren was actually on the screen and you were actually bored. Oh shit, we can't do it now. Unless we're gonna sit there and just name miscellaneous moments from like panels to Jiren and then back to another fight or stare downs. Unless we're gonna do those things. Anytime Jiren is actively doing something on the screen, giving you like some of the best shit in the fucking arc. What are we doing? When he meditates, you didn't sit there and watch him meditate the whole time, dog. That's not what happened. You knew he was meditating, and then you would go to another fight. That's actually, you unironically named what I was talking about. And I knew y'all were going to do that. But again, the internet. But like, that is exactly what I'm talking about. Jiren says, there's nobody worthy, no personality, by the way, nobody worthy, and chooses to meditate. I guess that's not a peak Dragon Ball scene. There's your one. The point was that Jiren doesn't think nobody's worthy, so how are they going to get Jiren to think he's worthy? They didn't show you for 20 straight minutes Jiren meditating. You just knew he was meditating. They had a couple panels to it, but you knew he was meditating. That's what that thematic was. When Jiren's fighting Goku, you're not bored. When Jiren's fighting Vegeta, you're not bored. When Jiren's fighting Hit, you're not bored. When Jiren is taunting any of those 3, mind you, you're not bored. When Jiren randomly one-shot that guy that almost killed Dispo, you're not bored. Like, none of that shit's boring. Dragon Ball is an overall better piece of fiction when you choose to read it instead of watching the original or Z. The paneling done and how the story flows so well is such a good thing that people who are anime only or just watch manga videos will never be able to get it. So there's aspects to the manga where yes, like especially in original Dragon Ball with the lines are like swooshy and stuff, or even in Z when you know the Saiyan design is all zappy, if that makes sense, like spikier. Being said, you can enjoy Dragon Ball very well watching the anime. It's actually very enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie. Dragon Ball's a good looking anime, dog. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like sure, I guess certain thematics, I guess certain pacing issues are solved. Cool. My nigga, you have more than a satisfying time listening to Goku, either edition, mind you, or hearing the OSTs and stuff like that. Come on, dog. No. Dragon Ball is beautiful. Goku realizing he killed his own grandpa in the Saiyan saga was more impactful in a better moment than Goku remembering his parents. Yeah, but this is still up in the air. He's talking about that time where Buddy in this manga shit, when Buddy like plays a little movie for him and he's like, oh yeah, hey, this was the final boss. This is Papa Goku or whatever. And that moment is really good. It's really heartwarming. But yeah, I'd probably say, yeah, him realizing he killed Grandpa Gohan, but that's because not only us as the reader were nourished to care about that and then know that Goku's been carrying that baggage, not knowing that he is the reason someone died versus just forgetting someone's existence. I think those are 2 different levels of severity, so maybe potential Mick there. But even then, no. But this is still up in the air, though. Goku can go in a whole different character arc if he really, really wanted to. I want to meet my dad arc is just right then and there. Not saying it's the layup or that I want them to take, but it's possible. All these things are possible. But at the moment in time, I agree with you for sure. Dog, I hate Rock Lee. Hey, man. Apparently, if he's not my favorite character, I hate him too. So I'm right there with you. Hey. If I like Naruto more, if I like Naruto and I like Sasuke, I must hate Team Guy. Yeah, if I like Team 7, I must hate Team Guy, dog. If I think Naruto is a harder worker, I must hate Lee. It must be the way, bro. It must be that way. It can't possibly be that you like something more than something else, but like both. No, you must think one. Goten underrated because he been raw since a little kid, pulling up to fights, throwing hands, but they kept calling him in the background. Like, okay, so this is just reminding you that Goten is a young Super Saiyan. That's kind of like my problem with Goten fans. It's because their whole premise on liking a character. Goten fans are boring people. Not that Goten's a boring character, but Goten fans are boring people. Because Goten fans literally saw a young Super Saiyan and said, "Yup, I stan him." Now, is there a lot of them? No, there's like 10. But it's not that Goten's boring. I've learned that over time. It's not that I have any disdain towards Goten. My shoulder is hilarious, though. But it's, you niggas, literally, your entire fandom is built around him just being a young Super Saiyan. Because y'all don't even list things about Goten you like. There's some that do. There's some that can. Overwhelming majority of you cannot or don't. And you just sit there, you're like, oh, well, he was a young Super Saiyan. So that's my guy. He's underrated. Yeah. Trunks is right there, and Trunks is infinitely more personality at that moment in time. I like what they're doing with him in the manga, but it's just one of the things that, like, y'all niggas stan the guy that cried, turned gold, cried again, hugged his pops, glazed Trunks. Ooh, Pete. I just don't get it. He's literally just and that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Again, I don't hate the nigga. I'm just saying you niggas don't like debunk what I say. And I just said some slander shit just to say slander shit. But you niggas don't debunk what I say. Y'all just be like, but he was the youngest Super Saiyan. If I sat there and dead ass, like, from the bottom of my heart meant, yeah, all he does is cry, glaze Trunks, cry, hug his dad. Obviously, he's a more fleshed out character than that. And hell, especially in the manga. But if that's dead all I thought of Goten, and you niggas, did you forget that he turns? All right, bro. I still think original Dragon Ball is the most entertaining and funny show they have. I would not mind a remake of it if they somehow kept that feel. I don't need a Dragon Ball remake. You don't need a Dragon Ball remake. Nobody needs a Dragon Ball remake. I'm not gonna lie. Dragon Ball just ages really well. It just looks good today. It's kind of like being like, I want a Yu remake. You don't need that. It's fun to do. You don't need that. Also, someone just said it. Path to Power exists. We damn sure don't need it now. I need a Dragon Ball remake with modern animation. No, I don't need it. I don't need it. If that's my hot take, that's my hot take. I really don't need it. There's no need for you to, rather than continue a new story or animate a new or animate the manga, you could continue the new story with Daima. You can animate the manga. There's no reason I need these niggas to turn the clock back and start Dragon Ball F. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't need it. Kid Buu is a lame villain. No. The only thing lame about Kid Buu, though, I will give you this. Kind of like how I was talking about with Goten fans. The way y'all talk about Kid Buu is kind of boring. He's a menace. Black Air Forces, menace. Like, damn, bro. Okay. All right, bro, we get it. Like, can we talk about the shit that he did instead of just calling him a menace 90 times over? What the f? But no, I like Kid Buu. I love Kid Buu, actually. Kid Buu is one of my favorite Dragon Ball characters. He is a menace, but that's all I hear. That's all I hear. Like, menace, Air Force. All right, bro, I understand that. Like, we don't need to hit you over the head about it, dog. So yeah, therefore, what I'm saying is Dragon Ball fans aren't wrong in how they talk about Kid Buu. It's just he has this energy now that kind of is just like goofy when you talk about Kid Buu. When Kid Buu is just like a raw-ass cool nigga. Raditz is one of the biggest fumbles in Dragon Ball history. I would rather see Raditz fill Vegeta's spot in the story, playing Goku's rival and trying to surpass him, than eventually starting a family on Earth himself. Vegeta would still have a role in the story, but more as an antagonist.
I'm gonna stick to the OG.
I hear you. I do. Someone's gonna agree with you because someone always agree. I've never heard a what if not be agreed on in the history of TSO. I've never heard it. So someone's gonna be on your side. Me?
Nah.
I'm good. Maybe Raditz come back one day. Sure, I'm not really a fan of that either, to tell you the truth. But Raditz just being on Earth, being the rival to Goku for some reason, who knows why? At that point, why wouldn't it just still be Piccolo? Just saying. Also, like the lesson that Goku learned about Saiyans, and it required a menace like Raditz to actually die, and for consequences to actually have transpired versus what? Goku and Piccolo beat him into submission. That'd have been weird. No, the point was, hey, gang, as far as you know right now, these motherfuckers are just evil. Great lesson. Fantastic lesson. Nah, I'm good. I hard disagree. Don't know how this became a hot take in TSO, but we don't need every character in existence having a whole ass arc nobody cares about when 15 other niggas are soloing the arc to give Krillin or Tien a new form and screen time that they had their time move on. It's a dying breed. This is like 2024 TSO. It's a dying breed, but yeah, I've echoed this a million times. We just read somebody's Raditz take, so maybe it's not dead. But yeah, there's certain characters that fulfill a role. There's certain characters that do their role exceptionally well. And sure, it'd be nice if we saw more of them. But then you guys go as far as to say we need entire arcs, entire transformations, straight buffs that don't make any rational sense. And then you try to hide in a corner about it because then you'll say, but I guess they don't have to be as strong as Goku, which is backwards because in theory, if they got stronger, but not strong enough, you niggas would just call bullshit regardless. So it really doesn't matter, but I'm not going to go there. I'm going to let one of you say, oh, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I know you would. You're lying. You 100% would. Regardless of the fact, even if you wouldn't do that, the point is it would just be an oversaturation of cap. A lot of stuff would feel meaningless if that happened. And furthermore, you kind of just oversaturate the product if every character anybody has ever liked gets a dedicated arc. It's just not it. No. If you can't understand that Kid Buu is weaker than Gohan, you are an idiot. The 3 fighters Buu absorbed made him quite literally only weaker than Vegeta and Ultimate Gohan, who were the strongest non-fused fighter. Yet Goku can box Kid Buu and Super Saiyan 3 alive, which made Super Saiyan 3 weaker. This is open book closed. I think most people pretty much accept that in the manga, you can somewhat argue Kid Buu, and in the anime, no, is it the manga? Fuck, am I flipping it? It's the anime. It's the anime you argue Buhan, in the manga Kid Buu. It's one of the two. But the point is, yeah, we pretty much solved this riddle. And if I had to personally say, okay, well, fuck that. The wrong way, yeah, it's one of the two. I might have inverted that. My bad. I think anime is Buhan and manga is Kid Buu. Anime is Kid Buu? What? Fuck it. It's one of the two. Fuck it. It's one of the two. Point is, I have trust issues with chat. But yeah, no. Both are Buhan. Back to the main point. Both are arguably Buhan because, I mean, what you're saying just makes sense. Regardless, point of the matter is this subject kind of is already resolved. But the reason why, if you just say, hey, bro, that's fine and all, we're not doing this technical shit. Pick one, picking Buhan. It just rationally makes sense that this guy at one point was objectively the strongest one. And furthermore, not every arc in really any anime, let alone Dragon Ball, results in the final boss actually being the strongest one. Hell, even the final boss isn't, in WWE power scale terms, the strongest guy in WWE. He's just the dastardliest one, the most toxic one. The same way in Kid Buu and Dragon Ball, I don't think he's the strongest Buu. I think he's just the Buu that you cannot fucking control. Buhan, you can talk to. Buhan probably would still kill you, but you can like have a conversation with that nigga. Kid Buu, boom! What do you do about that? But I'm pretty sure that nobody really doesn't understand this anymore. It's just a matter of people dying on their beliefs. Super Saiyan 4 is low-key overhyped as hell. Like, it's solid, but not GOAT level good. I see what you mean. Because for a minute, about like 6 months ago, I low-key was thinking this. I'm going to say no. It's still pretty peak. It's still masterful. We're just getting used to seeing it. But I do see where you're coming from, because to tell you what I was thinking at one point in time, it's kind of like everyone knows the design is cool and he does some cool shit in it, but like niggas will go there. But I guess my issue was, okay, but how do you like this more than Super Saiyan? How do you like this more than this or that per se? And I think that's what I get from you, that you think it's good. You just don't think it's the greatest. And I don't see how it's the greatest. But a lot of people think it's the greatest. So I get where you're coming from, but Super Saiyan 4 is really good. It's at worst third to me. So I'm like, and mind you, at worst, it's probably not third. But the fact that, like, literally, it might be third. You know, I really might go Super Saiyan UR 4. It might be third. But the point is, it's in the 3. And because it's in the 3, if you think because it's 1, it's overhyped as all hell, that's kind of crazy. So That's what I say. I'm not going to call it overrated, and it's a top 3 transformation to me. Though I believe the Buu saga is the worst saga, it is also my favorite because I had the most fun watching it both for the first time and especially the second time. Can't deny the mountain of problems, though. This is perfectly fine. Holy shit. Holy shit. This is like this is the third time that someone's tackled this. Gang, if someone goes to you and says, I like the Buu saga more than the Saiyan saga, but I think the Saiyan saga is better, chat, you know what that's called? An opinion.
Holy shit!
This is for some reason definitely classifies as a hot take. It definitely does. Because this, on all accounts, people just forgot what an opinion is. Why? I just like it more, dude. I don't know. I like Boo. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. I like Masha Vegeta. I like all that stuff. I've always had to talk about your take specifically. I've always said if you just write down the 10 best moments of an arc and you compare the Buu saga to most other Dragon Ball arcs, you'd be crazy surprised that Buu saga might just sweep the entire table. But I don't even want to go that route about it because I understand you. I think it sucks that a good amount of people, if you say, what's your favorite arc? Buu saga. You don't know ball. You're a bitch. Fuck you. You must hate Cell. God damn. It's an opinion. Man, hot takes is fun. But I've learned today that y'all don't know what a hot take is. A hot take is supposed to be a crazy controversial opinion. But at the end of the day, these are just opinions. This does not mean, unless they say they do, that they must hate other things. You know what I'm saying? Then take the worst parts of the Buu saga. You can do that, but that kind of doesn't really mean anything to the conversation. Again, if you take the 10 best moments of Buu saga, you can easily find yourself saying, oh, damn, I love that arc. Take the worst 10 parts of any arc, you'd be surprised. Shit, you take the 10 worst arc of the Buu saga and compare it to the 10 worst parts of the fucking Tournament of Power, nigga. Tournament of Power looked like the worst arc in history. MUI shouldn't have debuted in the Tournament of Power. Dragon Ball keeps doing new arc equals new form. UI sign should have been Goku's peak for the Tournament of Power and save MUI for the Broly movie or Moro arc. Way more hype and less power creep burnout. Dragon Ball keeps doing new arc equals new form. So I want to debut it in the new arc again. Is he saying that just because, okay, I'm trying to, every hot take video has two things. One, 10 out of 10, whatever what if is said, he's cooking and I'm wrong. Like it's every Twitter user writes Dragon Ball better than Toriyama. That's one. Two, not even more than underutilized stuff anymore. Two is that I always misinterpret what someone is saying because we are all rooting for each other. It's like comment section and chat niggas and Twitter niggas have like this fucking pact to understand two brain cells combined. Some people type shit wrong and it's just impossible to interpret. But for the sake of argument, let's say he wrote that sentence to mean that this is a good thing, and that's why he wants it to continue going forth. We've already addressed if he meant this in a bad way. So now let's address if he means this in a good way. Gang, that's just lazy writing at that fucking point. I'm not gonna lie. That is just ridiculously lazy writing. The reasoning for you saying, oh, I can't do MUI because I've already done a transformation, that's lazy. That's the definition of lazy, especially when it thematically fit the story. If Goku on pure defense alone beat Jiren, that'd have been so fucking weird. It'd been the weirdest shit. So you're telling me in imperfect form, just solos, I get what's the positives there? You really address how the power creep between angels and gods is that deep? I guess. But it'd have been really fucking weird, especially when you go as far as to have Kefla. And maybe he's saying delete all of this, but then now we're just in what if territory. But especially if you're going to say, okay, Kefla telling you that, damn, you don't hit that hard though. Like, I can't hit you, but you can't hit me for real, so we good. You don't care about that or none of that shit. You just, all right, fuck it. He just, I don't know. The Kenzan actually fucking deletes Jiren out the Tournament of Power or whatever. Or they use the teamwork thing and Goku just gets his ass beat the whole time, which would then ruin the thematic and the story of the... Again, this whole thing just falls apart. MUI didn't beat Jiren anyway. Yeah, if you want to go to if you just want to skip to the end episode and be like, yo, Sage, where's MUI? Yeah, sure. If you're going to tell me that MUI doesn't severely fatigue Jiren to the point that 17 and Frieza can fight him, what the fuck? What the fuck? that is the definition of... Like, come on now, dog. So yeah, I don't like that. because you have to change the entire story of the Tournament of Power. The thematic of Path to Power being the power of friendship, the strength in others, to make UI sign exist while also being a reason to win. Because at that point, you don't need the form at all. At that point, you don't need UI sign to debut in there. What, you just gonna have him dodge Kefla for like 10 minutes and then just, damn, I wish I could tap back into that, but then teamwork beats Jiren? I guess, but I'd rather you just not debut anything at that fucking point. Just fuck it. We can't beat Jiren 101. It just doesn't. Introducing Ultra Instinct sign the way it is, but saying Mastered shouldn't be debuted in a tournament, but they're going to beat Kefla and Jiren in the same tournament, doesn't make sense. It just doesn't work. Because you have to change everything for that to work. Daima not connecting canonically hurts the overall value of the series. It really doesn't. Again, we care. I'm a nerd for talking about it to you. You're a nerd for talking about it and listening. And anybody in the comments that's trying to overcorrect me or you are the ultimate nerd. Regardless, nobody cares. Point being, sure, power scaling, all of these other things, they can depreciate the series to a certain degree. To hurt the overall value of it because Daima doesn't fluently one-to-one connect? Nah. Especially because it came out so late. You're telling me that the way that you view a 90s anime is officially ruined because of what happened in 2025? They would have to say Dragon Ball Z is back and then just, I don't know, make Goku act like Master Roshi. That it would have to take something that dramatic for me to even be on that stratosphere where you're at. The best I could give you is that Daima not connecting is like, and Daima not making the most sense at times is like we're just gonna pass that. It's a complaint. It's something that me and you could complain about. I just don't think it hurts the overall value of the series. I don't watch Daima and then say, yeah, Dragon Ball Z is now ass. That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me. It's annoying. Yeah, basically, it's annoying. I'm not gonna say it's not annoying. It's annoying. And for the guy that's gonna say it does connect canonically, I'll go a step further. Well, actually, technically, all of Dragon Ball iterations are canon, but if you think about what that statement was, essentially, because it's a misinterpreted thing, essentially, it's been already stated by Toriyama RP the GOAT that there's different continuities and timelines. All of them are canon per se. Therefore, there's no way that should hurt your feelings at all, especially even that knowledge. Now, is that kind of a cop-out for bad writing potentially in Daima or bad writing in potentially other arcs?
Probably.
But that's the whole point, that Dragon Ball essentially has multiple continuities and stuff. It's like in the gotcha moment that I'm going to pull is every movie reaction I've done. Y'all do that to me all the time where I'm acting like, some of you guys didn't get it was a joke. I'm acting like, yo, how strong is he supposed to be during this point in time? That's the bit, just to see if I try to make sense of the movie in terms of the timeline and act like it's all one continuity. Reality is all these shits are not connected. All these shits are not connected. And y'all have checked me every time I've done that, even though I'm obviously fucking around. I miss the Dragon Ball movies. Let's keep going. Krillin, Bulma, and Yamcha contribute more to the story than Vegeta has and ever will. All right, actually, we're done here. Bulma maybe, but the other two, let's be real. Look, man. I'm going to say this, chat. Dragon Ball is my favorite anime, and I do like Monkey D. Luffy. That does not mean I hate Naruto, man. But you didn't mention Ichigo, so you must really fucking hate. All right, bro. Take care. Stay blessed. I'm off this hoe. God damn, bro.